Hello everyone, it's Shammy coming back to say hello. It's been a while. I am really bad at keeping up with my videos and I'm trying to do better. Things are slowing down again, so hopefully I can get back to making some videos of some sort, whether it's about me or, well, usually it's about me in some way, but whether it's about like my personal life or work or whatever. Hopefully it's relatable for you guys. I wanted to make a video today about my experience with birth control. It's not something I've talked about, I don't think, hardly ever in any of my videos, I don't think. But it is a subject that a lot of women want to know about, whether they're looking to switch their birth control, or they want to know what other women's experience was on a certain one. So I'm just going to go through over the years what my methods have been and how my body reacted to it, what symptoms I had, and so forth. So the first thing I tried was the pill, and this was after I had my daughter Shyla. She's in my videos, light of my life, and it did not sit well with me at all. I was consistent with it. I set my alarm clock so that I, was taking it on a regular basis, on time. And every single time I would take it, I would vomit and I would just be nauseous all day long. So I got off of that, and then I looked into the depot. I was like, well, I would rather do something that I don't have to do every single day at the same exact time. So my doctor suggested the depot. I wanted to do the patch really bad, and she was like, well, just try the depot first. I said, okay, fine. So I tried the depot Provera shot, and for the first month, it was fine. I was gaining weight, I was happy. I think I was like 100 pounds at the time. So I got up to 110. I was super excited. And I was like, oh, this is the stuff right here. So then I ended up experiencing my hair started breaking. And I know you're supposed to eat like certain foods because I guess, I don't know, something with the shot, you're supposed to eat certain vegetables and fruits and things like that to put calcium and all that back into your body. If you don't, then you'll start having like crazy side effects. Which I don't have an issue with eating vegetables, so that was never an issue for me, but I still had issues with like my hair breaking really easily. My teeth were very weak. They would chip and things like that. I didn't really notice anything with my bones necessarily that I can remember, but I remember that being an issue. And then I randomly have mood swings, and then I would have migraines, and then those mood swings that was just every once in a while became every single day. And I remember one day I don't know, Shiloh was in the back seat, and I was driving home. I was like 5 minutes away from our apartment, and I don't know, she either did something or she said something. Mind you, she was like 3 years old at the time, and so whatever she did, I don't know, it set me off, and I went off. Like, I was yelling at the top of my lungs. And when I got home, I got her in the house, and I just sat there and bawled my eyes out because I had literally like no control over my body. Like, I couldn't control what I was saying or why I was feeling the way I was. And after that, I was like, there's no way I'm getting another shot. I'm getting off of this. Um, and I stuck to it for a long time until I heard that um, they came out with a new formula that supposedly wasn't so aggressive. So I got on, I tried it one more time. This is like a year or two later. Um, and I think I only got one shot, which lasts 3 months. And I started having mood swings again. And I was like, this just is not for me. And so, yeah. So then I looked into the Nexplanon, and I had that inserted. Um, I guess she would have been younger when I had that little episode, because I had the Nexplanon for almost 3 years. In August of this year, um, 2019, it's crazy. Time flew so fast. It would have been 3 years that I had the Nexplanon in my arm. I literally just got the Nexplanon taken out 3 days ago. So like I still have the bandage and everything on my arm right now, but we'll get to that. So I looked into the Nexplanon and I was like, well, this stays in for 3 years. From what I've seen, it's not nearly as bad as the Depo, like the reviews on it. So I got it. I was hoping I would gain weight on it, like I did with the Depo. I didn't gain any weight on the Nexplanon, so I was a little devastated. Um, but naturally, I'm still 110. I fluctuate between 110 and 115. But yeah, so I got on the Nexplanon. Everything was not okay from the beginning. I was about to say it was okay. It was not okay from the very beginning. My cycles were super heavy, and then I feel like if I remember correctly, I was on like a consistent flow for 2 months after I got the Nexplanon in. And then it just stopped for like a month. And then I would get a cycle like every other month. And when I would get it every other month, it would last 2 to 3 weeks. So I was like really weak because I was losing so much blood. My doctor told me to take 1,500 milligrams of ibuprofen or Tylenol every 4 to 5 hours. And she said that would slow it down. So it did. It stopped the bleeding quite a bit, but like, who really wants to be taking in that much medicine that often when your body really doesn't need it? But anyway, so I experienced that, and then anytime I was intimate, immediately after I would start bleeding again, and that would last for a couple days. So it was just not fun. I was always bleeding, I felt like, and it wasn't just like a little spotting here and there. It was like a full pad, and like I gotta change. Oh my gosh, nasty. It was not okay. So that was my experience with that. Here recently, I started getting migraines again. Not as bad as when I was a teenager, but I'm starting to get them again. And I've noticed that I'm starting to get like really, really, really moody again. So I was like, okay, I think it's a sign. It's time for me to take it out. So I got it taken out, and I I went to the same place. I went to Planned Parenthood. They are the only place that I know of that my insurance will pay for them to put it in and take it out. So that's where I went, and the experience there was fairly fast, easy. Getting it put in, the only thing that really stung was the initial shot, which is the numbing medicine. And then I didn't feel them put it in. I didn't get a huge bruise. The bruise I did have was smaller than a dime, and it was right at the incision point. And then getting it taken out, I have no idea what it looks like. I can show you guys, but like I said, the bandage is still on. I don't think I'm bruising though. I don't think. So this is my arm right now, and I get to take it off tomorrow. I don't know, I might have a bruise there, but we'll see. But yeah, withdrawals. So immediately after I got this thing taken out my arm, I felt so weak. I felt like I was gonna pass out, and then I got really shaky, and I had gotten a really bad headache, and I was nauseous, and yeah, that was the first day. Second day, I was extremely nauseous all day, and then today I feel fine. I feel back to my normal self. Yesterday I did start spotting, and then today I noticed that I still am kind of spotting. So I'm expecting a pretty big cycle. Last time I had a cycle was in November. So yeah, usually on the next one, when my body was skipped, like I told you guys before, I would end up being on for like 3 weeks. So I'm expecting this to be pretty similar. Hopefully it'll be like a regular cycle though. Hopefully. But anyway, so when I was at Planned Parenthood, they was talking to me about contraception, and they was like, what do you want to do next? And I said, well, I really want to do the patch. And they told me that I couldn't, and I was so sad, because the patch, you know, you put on once a week for 3 weeks, and then you have a week off for your period. And I was cool with that. I was like, I can do that. But yeah, they told me that I cannot, because it has estrogen and progesterone in it, and that with my migraines, I would be likely to have a stroke. So they told me that my options were either I can get an IUD, which I don't want to do. You can get the depot, or you can go back on the pill. And I was like, well, looks like I'm doing neither one of those, because I did the depot. Depot's a no-no for me. Did the pill. Pill makes me vomit. And I'm not doing an IUD. So I guess I either have to be abstinent or use other form of birth control. That's my experience with birth control. It's been a roller coaster. A lot of negative, yeah, a lot of negative side effects. Birth control is not for everybody's body, that's for sure. And mine is definitely one of those bodies that just cannot handle it, apparently. But yeah, so anyway, you guys, I hope you found this video educational, enlightening, entertaining. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If I didn't answer any questions that you may have been wanting to find out, just let me know. You all have a wonderful, blessed day. Thanks for watching.